Good morning, students. Let's continue the chapter Differentiation. In the first class, I explained how to find the derivative using first principle. Okay? In this class, I am going to do trigonometrical functions. Example, how to find the derivative of sin x, cos x, tan x, etc. using first principle. All of you look, what's the meaning? First principle, how can you find the answer? Here, y equal to fx. Then, delta x be a small increment in x. Then, delta y be the corresponding increment in y. You know that y means fx. Therefore, y plus delta y is equal to f of x plus delta x. We put that to equation 1 and 2. I already explained all this. Then second minus first gives delta y equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x. Or limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x is limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x. Limit delta x tends to 0, delta y by delta x is dy by dx. That is, limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x. Here, dy by dx, in the place of delta x, you can substitute h. Limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h. Right, the first question, find the derivative of sin x using first principle. Right. Here, y equal to sin x. We know that y means f of x equal to sin x. Put equation 1. We know that h be the small increment. Therefore, f of x plus h is equal to sin x plus h. Put 2. Then, what is next step? Yes, equation 2 minus equation 1 gives f of x plus h minus f of x equal to sin x plus h minus sin x. Okay. Then, can you say what is, all of you look, write in the working column, sin c minus sin d or sin x minus sin y. Sin c minus sin d is equal to 2 cos c plus d by 2 sin c minus d by 2. This is the formula. Sin c minus sin d is equal to 2 cos c plus d by 2 sin c minus d by 2. Then look here. F of x plus h minus f of x by h. We can apply limit also. Limit h tends to 0. F of x plus h minus f of x by h is limit h tends to 0 sin x plus h minus sin x the whole by h. Understand? Now when you apply the formula, that is equal to, you can write here dy by dx equal to, what is sin c minus sin d? 2 cos c plus d by 2, x plus h plus x by 2 into sine x plus h minus x by 2. The whole by h. That is 2 cos x plus x is 2x. 2x by 2 is x plus h by 2 into sine x minus x cancel h by 2 by h. Now we can convert this. Here also you write limit h tends to 0. Limit h tends to 0. Then we can write or convert this 2 in the denominator. We can split this. Limit h tends to 0 cos x plus h by 2 into limit h tends to 0 sine h by 2 by, already here one h is there, we can convert this numerator 2 in here by 2. Automatically this 2 comes in the numerator. Therefore, when you apply the limit h tends to 0 means cos x into. Can you say what is in the limit chapter? You know that limit h tends to 0 sin h by h equal to 1. Isn't it? Limit, in that case, limit x tends to 0 sin x by x. Therefore, here limit h tends to 0 sin h by 2 by h by 2 equal to 1. Therefore, the final answer cos x. The derivative of sin x is cos x. Okay. Right, the second question. Y equal to cos x. Fx equal to cos x. 1. H be the small increment. Therefore, f of x plus h is equal to cos x plus h. Put 2. F of x plus h minus f of x equal to cos x plus h minus cos x. Understand? Now what is the next step? Limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x by h equal to limit h tends to 0, cos x plus h minus cos x by h. Understand? Then can you say what is cos c minus cos d? Cos c minus cos d? Minus 2 sin c plus d by 2 into minus 2 sin c plus d by 2 sin c minus d by 2. Okay, that is limit RHS is limit h tends to 0 minus 2 sin x plus h plus x by 2 into sin x plus h minus x by 2. Isn't it? That is limit h tends to 0 minus 2 sin 2x by 2 is x plus h by 2 into sin h by 2. X and x cancel here also. Now we can split the limit. You can take this minus outside. Minus limit h tends to 0 sin x plus h by 2. Then, what is the second step? Limit h tends to 0 sin h by 2. Here all the case you have to write h by h is there. By h we convert this 2 in the denominator by 2. Okay. That is minus sin x into. Here you know the result. Sin x by x is 1. Therefore, the final answer minus sin x. Right. Minus sin x. Right. The third question. Y is equal to tan x. Find the derivative of tan x. Yes. Start. Fx is equal to tan x, equation 1. Then f of x plus h is equal to tan x plus h, equation 2. Then you know, equation 2 minus equation 1 is f of x plus h minus f of x. Can directly write the limit h tends to 0 by h equal to limit h tends to 0 tan x plus h minus tan x the whole by h. But here we can convert, this is dy by dx equal to tan is sin A by cos A, isn't it? Therefore, we can write the RHS as limit h tends to 0 sin x plus h by cos x plus h. You know the step? Tan means sin by cos minus sin x by cos x. All of you right. Now here two fractions are there, taking the LCM. Limit h tends to 0 sin x plus h into cos x minus sin x into cos x plus h, cross multiplication in by here the whole by h into the denominator is cos x plus h into cos x. Then look at the numerator. Can you say what is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B? Sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. That is equal to limit h tends to 0 sin A cos B minus cos A sin B is sin A plus B, isn't it? Sin x plus h. Here the middle sign is minus. Therefore, sin A cos B minus cos A sin B is sin A minus B. Sin x plus h minus x by h into cos x plus h into cos x. Understand? Then x and x cancel. You will get limit h tends to 0 sin h. We can write this h here by h into 1 by cos x plus h into cos x. Now when you apply the limit, sin h by h is 1 into 1 by cos x into cos x. Agree? That is 1 by cos square x. What is 1 by cos square x? Yes, c square x. The derivative of tan x is c square x. Okay. Write the fourth question, y equal to cot x. F of x equal to cot x. F of x plus h equal to cot x plus h. Always write, let h be a small increment. 2. Then f of x plus h minus f of x by h limit h tends to 0 equal to limit h tends to 0 cot x plus h minus cot x the whole by h. That is dy by dx equal to limit h tends to 0. Here also you cannot directly write the answer. Therefore, cot we can write cos x plus h by sin x plus h minus cos x by sin x the whole by h. Understand? That is limit h tends to 0, taking the LCM, sin x into cos x plus h minus cos x into sin x plus h by h into the denominator LCM part is sin x plus h into sin x. Okay. Now, limit h tends to 0. What is sin A cos B minus cos A sin B? Yes, sin A minus B. Sin x minus of x plus h by h into sin x plus h into sin x. X and x cancel. Look at the numerator. X minus x cancel. Then you will get 1 minus h. Limit h tends to 0. Sin minus h. Can you say what is sin minus h? Yes, that is minus sin h by h into sin x plus h into sin x. Study all the results from trigonometry. Then only you feel it is easy. Then sin minus theta minus sin theta, you can take that minus outside. Limit h tends to 0 minus sin h by h. Understand? By 1 by sin x plus h into sin x. This tends to 1. Sin h by h is 1. Therefore, minus 1 into 1 by, when you apply here, h tends to 0. Sin x into sin x. That is minus 1 by sin square x. Minus 1 by sin square x is minus cos square x. D by dx of cot x is minus cos square x. Right, the fifth one, y equal to sec x. Fx equal to sec x. Put equation 1. F of x plus h is equal to sec x plus h. 2. Equation 2 minus equation 1 is applying limit also. Limit h tends to 0. F of x plus h minus f of x by h is limit h tends to 0. Sec x plus h minus sec x the whole by h. That is dy by dx is equal to limit h tends to 0. How can you write sec? 1 by cos x plus h minus 1 by cos x the whole by h. Understand? Sec means 1 by cos. Taking the LCM, limit h tends to 0. Cos x minus cos x plus h by h into cos x plus h into cos x. Once again, what is cos z minus cos d? Cos z minus cos d, one formula is 2 sin c plus d by 2 into sin d minus c by 2. If you put negative in the first step, you have to write here z minus d. Otherwise, d minus c. Both the steps are right. Therefore, limit h tends to 0, 2 sin c plus d means x plus h by 2. That means you will get x plus h by 2 into sin d minus c. D minus c means x plus h minus x. X and x cancel, then you will get by h by 2. Yes. Then h into cos x plus h into cos x. Okay. Then limit h tends to 0. Sin x plus h by 2 is there into sin h by 2. In that case, you can take this h and this 2. Numerator 2 we write here. H by 2 into, then again, you can write there. Cos x plus h into cos x. Understand this step? All of you once again look here. This sin x plus h by 2 here. Then one sin h by 2. And here the denominator 1 h is there. You take this numerator 2 and write that in the denominator that changes to h by 2, then only we can convert this as sine a by a or sine theta by theta to change it as 1. And when you apply the limit, you will get sine x by cos x into cos x. All of you agree? Cos x into cos x, and the limit to sine h by 2 by h by 2 changes to 1. Sine x by x, limit x tends to 0, sine x by x is 1. Therefore, the answer is sine x by cos x into cos x. You know that 1 sine x by cos x is tan x and 1 by cos x is sec x. Therefore, the final result 1 by cos x is sec x, sin x by cos x is tan x. The order is this: sec x, tan x. What is the derivative of sec x? Derivative of sec x is sec x tan x. Sec x tan x. Okay, then one more. What is that? Sixth problem is y equal to cosec x. All of you write. Y equal to cosec x. You can do by yourself. Fx equal to cosec x. Put equation 1. F of x plus h equal to cosec x plus h. That is equation 2. Limit h tends to 0. F of x plus h minus f of x by h is equal to limit h tends to 0 cosec x plus h minus cosec x the whole by h. Understand? That is dy by dx is equal to limit h tends to 0. If it is sec x plus h minus sec x, we write 1 by cos and 1, isn't it? Therefore, what is cosec? Yes, 1 by sin x plus h minus 1 by sin x. Okay, now taking the LCM, limit h tends to 0, sin x minus sin x plus h the whole by, in all the case you have to write h. H into sin x plus h into sin x. Okay. Then again, what is sin c minus sin d? What is sin c minus sin d? Limit h tends to 0 to cos c plus d by 2, x plus h by 2 into sin c minus d, x minus h by 2. Understand? Sin c minus sin d is 2 cos c plus d by 2 sin c minus d by 2. The whole by h into sin x plus h into sin x. That is limit h tends to 0 to x plus h 2 cos x plus h by 2 into x and x cancel. You will get sin minus h by 2. Understand? Sin minus h by 2. Why not that? Sin minus theta is minus sin theta. Then 1 minus is outside. Sin h by 2 by h into sin x plus h into sin x. Okay. Minus is outside. Limit h tends to 0. Cos x plus h by 2 into this sin h by 2. The denominator of sin h by 2 is h by 2. H by 2. Okay. Into sin x plus h into sin x. That is minus. When you apply the limit here, you will get minus cos x. This term changes to 1 into 1 by sin x into sin x. When you apply h tends to 0. That is minus. What is 1 by sin x? All of you look here. 1 by sin x is cosec x. And cos x by sin x is cot x. I repeat. 1 by sin x is cosec x, Cos x by sin x is cot x. Therefore, the answer is minus cosec x cot x. The derivative of cosec x is equal to minus cosec x cot x. Understand? Study this. This trigonometric function very important. Using first principle, find the derivative. You know that the derivative of constant is 0. In the next class, I will explain the derivative of a function by direct method. Okay, students, study well. God bless you.